Welcome back, everybody. This is Eric here with Iraq Veteran 8888. We continue our 2016 SHOT Show coverage. We came by the Ruger booth to have a look around and check out the new Ruger American pistol. Many of you guys have been asking me to come over here and show you guys this handgun and give some of my thoughts about it. It's impossible to develop an opinion on a gun, just handle it for 5 minutes and not shooting it, so I'm certainly not going to give too much of a solid opinion yet because it's just kind of a first look. We mainly just want to show you guys the gun, some of the features, and we'll talk about some of the things I like, some of the things I don't like, and go from there. But they got them in 9 and 45 ACP, okay? On the 45 ACP, you've got a 10-shot mag. On the 9mm, you got 17-shot mag. So you got an ambidextrous magazine release, which is nice. I like that. The grip panels can be taken off for various amounts of grip that you want. If you want to make it a little bit fatter, a little bit skinnier, you can do so if you want to. So that's one interesting feature. Okay. The trigger, you can see, kind of takes some lineage from some other popular guns we all know about. The slide stop is ambidextrous, can be reached from either side of the pistol. Pretty typical takedown latch, like you're going to see. I'm not going to disassemble the gun, obviously, because I think they have SHOT Show strikers in these things. I don't want to have something flying across the room or anything silly like that. There's some interesting cuts that they put on the slide that I like a lot. It's definitely something I like. I love how they got these, kind of edges that are beveled over on the gun. That makes for a lot less obtrusive feel in your hand and everything. I love the cocking serrations on the rear of the slide. I like the way they did that. That was pretty clever. I like the way that looks. You got a Picatinny rail. So moving to the front of the gun, you can see what's been really popular in a lot of these handguns over the last few years, and especially moving forward. You can see the cuts they put on the front of the slide, and that's to facilitate with holstering. If you're not looking, if you're not paying attention, you got your flashlight on a perp or whatever the heck it is, or let's just say it's dark and you want to find your holster easier. A lot of those holstering cuts that are put on the front of the slide help the gun find your holster, especially if you're carrying like inside the waistband or something, and you want that gun to really find the holster easy. That facilitates that, makes that a little bit quicker, a little bit easier. All in all, pretty interesting gun. Playing around with the trigger a little bit. I mean, it's got a nice crisp trigger for the most part. Now, obviously, this is probably, a lot of these guns that are on the rack here are probably early pre-production prototypes, so there's going to be probably some minor things like that that'll kind of work themselves out. But the trigger breaks nice and clean. There's no over travel. Okay, so the way that they've got this trigger set up, I mean, there's literally zero over travel in the trigger. So a nice smooth trigger. The back strap and the way the gun fits my hand, I'd have to shoot it some and kind of play around with it and see what I think about it, but I'm not crazy about the way the gun fits my hand at all. The bore axis to me is a little bit ungainly and a little bit tall. I don't know why, it varies so slightly geometry-wise. It seems that the bore axis is a little bit on the high side for my taste, but then again, it could just be a matter of shooting it. Sometimes it's kind of hard to just really see that for what it is without kind of shooting the gun and seeing, kind of how the muzzle flip, feels to me. But I mean, it's a 9, so I mean, 9mm is 9mm. You're not going to really have an issue there. I'm not crazy about this like blocked off, boxy portion in the back of the gun. That's definitely, to me, ergonomics wise, doesn't really fit my hand that nice, and it's a little bit ugly. Okay, but it's awesome though. I mean, I do like the gun. There's things about it that I like, as well. So it's one of those things that nothing's perfect. You know what I mean? So this is the 45 ACP version, and that's a pretty cool gun. It's not terribly large. It's nice and slim. You get 10 shots in the magazine, so you still get a double stack out of it. Make a 3-shot base plate or maybe a 13-shot mag and a threaded barrel for this thing, and they'd have something going with this. It looks like there's plenty of meat on the slide. Of course, I'd have to really have a look at the inside of the gun and kind of see how engineering-wise how it's really made, so to speak. But I'd love to see maybe an RMR cut on this, threaded barrel. Now this is cool. I'll probably end up picking up 45 in the 9. We'll do some review work on it, see what we think. So far, I mean, I would say my opinion of the gun is, at this point, I would say favorable. It's definitely got more going for it than not. So we'll see. I'm really curious to see what the performance of the gun is, how well it shoots, accuracy, reliability. I mean, all of those things obviously are something that's going to be worked out in time. I would just say put it in your hand, see how it feels to you, see if you like it. The thing is, think about it like shoes, right? Everyone wears different shoes, right? So we don't all wear the same shoes. Everybody might have something they like in a shoe or something. I mean, the way that a firearm fits your hand, that's an individual preference. So just because I may not necessarily like the way it fits my hand doesn't mean it won't fit your hand great. So, I mean, I would encourage you guys to just go get your hands on it, play around with it, maybe shoot at some when you can get a hold of them. But we'll probably end up doing a review on this gun, checking it out. I love the cocking serrations again. I love the Novak sights. I didn't mention the sights. They are cut, dovetailed front and rear, or Novak style combat sights, which, you know, these actually say Novak on them, so those are Novak sights. Also, loaded chamber indicator. There's a cut in the top of the barrel hood I forgot to mention, so that way you can physically see. It's a very simple style of loaded chamber indicator. It allows you to see exactly if there's a round in the chamber or not. Pretty simple. And one thing I want to check here, which I didn't look to see on that. On a lot of these Rugers and other guns that are on the market, if you push the extractor out, you'll see like a little strip of red on top. This one doesn't appear to have it. I don't know if that's something they're going to change, but I think they opted for a very non-obtrusive style of loaded chamber indicator. You can just look down and see if there's a round in the chamber or not. So there's the Ruger American. Pretty cool. I'm going to be following it, see how it goes. I'm going to be, you know, probably picking up a couple of them. We'll see how they go. Guys, thanks for watching. We got a ton of emails from you guys wanting us to show off this gun and kind of, you know, give you an idea of what we thought about it. And guys, I've been around the gun for 5 minutes, so I'm not going to give like some kind of, you know, glorious, all-knowing opinion yet. This is just kind of a first look. I think they've got something going. It's a cool gun. I'm really curious to see how well it runs, reliability, accuracy. Again, we'll get to that later when we can. So thanks for watching, and make sure you're following all our SHOT Show coverage. We'll see you guys soon, and thanks for watching. Appreciate it.